Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we are talking about the last, window, the last day of backing for Avalon, the Riven Veil by Shadowborn Games, the creators of Oathsworn. The title that came before this has broken the BGG Top 100. It is one of the highest ranked games in thematic game experiences available, and production quality was over the top. It's also been completely produced and delivered before launching their second game, so needless to say, this is a good company to be paying attention to, and when reviewers are saying the things that reviewers are saying about games like Avalon, it is something that is worth noting. Today we're breaking down what has happened over the course of this campaign. I read through all of the updates, the unlocks, the expansions, the brand new characters, so that you all wouldn't have to. And if you're making a decision now, today, I can tell you why it's more worth it to jump in now than it will ever be and has ever been before. There is a lot of Kickstarter exclusive stuff here. There are a lot of upgrades and things that you can purchase at a steeply discounted rate so that you can get access to everything and either have it be at like 4 times the value on eBay if you decide that this game isn't getting to the table, or, hear me out, just have the completionist in you, like the completionist in all of us, satisfied when you decide that you actually really desperately like this game and wished that you'd gotten the metal upgraded deluxified components and the shadow washed miniatures so that they look as sexy as possible when you're going to the table and destroying and conquering your foes. I always say I'm going to make these videos as quick as possible, and then I end up taking like 37 minutes to talk about everything and share things that I'm excited about. I really am going to try to make this one bite-sized and to the point. So I'm going to read through my list here, and then we're going to scan through the Kickstarter page. So if all you want to do is listen to the first 60 seconds of this video and then hit that link in the top of the video description to decide if you want to put any or all of your money behind this game, then you can do that. That's your discretion. Remember, there is not much time remaining. So, Kickstarter exclusive items are flush throughout this. A metal upgrade kit is Kickstarter exclusive. A Mist Touch Shade Wash is Kickstarter exclusive. A Black Dragon extra monster that you can utilize in the game, Kickstarter exclusive. There are 200 plus unique pieces of artwork in this game. It is deluxified to the nth degree. The miniatures have a dual-toned little bit of plastic there, so they look really sexy. I have to be honest about that. There is a Mistwalker expansion that's been unlocked here. You can get up to, if not more than $100 off of what would be the general value of the product that you're getting, depending on the scale within which you're backing. It's coming at a steep and aggressive price point. There are new miniatures that have been unlocked, giving you more variability for each faction. There is a 5th faction that's been unlocked, the Fae, giving you the ability to play this game 2 to 5 players instead of 2 to 4, which it was originally announced at. There are brand new models that have been introduced for faction leaders, for some of your upgraded asymmetric faction characters, and for the heroes that you have in the company, along with nooks that make it so they're easily identifiable, and you won't have to try to figure out which one has which relic or which artifact attached to them. There are VP markers, there are cube markers, there are settlement markers, all of which have been deluxified and upgraded and look really, 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 really good. There is not going to be a single piece of plastic, resin, cardboard, paper in this game that hasn't been, chef-kissed to oblivion throughout the creation of this. I'm shocked by how good some of the markers look, and they really are just like, this is a little cube that you use to track your victory points. We're going to make it as customized and beautiful and glorious as possible. That's what they've said to themselves. I don't know why, but they have. There are rules changes. So if you've watched a gameplay, or if you're waiting for a gameplay to come out, we will have a gameplay hopefully coming out soon. It won't be before the campaign has ended, but we are trying to get our hands on some of the new cards, and we're trying to get our hands on enough players and the publishers themselves so that we can do this epic little showcase of the game the best way possible. We're trying to figure it out. That being said, You could remove luck from the game. When it comes to the battle system, you could have just a clean, straightforward battle. You could remove catch-up systems from the game. You could play asymmetric or non-asymmetric if you want a balanced, straightforward game where you're all fighting for control, or if you want a game that has a little bit more of a narrative through line, similar a la Root, with mechanics and stuff that you're pursuing as you play your character in order to score and win and unlock extra abilities as the game goes on. You could play a short or long game, either 2 seasons or 3 seasons. You could also play now with a 5th player. So that's the stuff that I'm covering. Now let's quickly look through the Kickstarter page so you can get a visual of what I'm shouting at you about. And like I said, there's not much time left, so at least go drop $1 or $5, whatever it takes to get access to the Pledge Manager. If you're still in between making your decision, I don't think you're going to regret it as you continue seeing more information and diving deeper into a game coming from a publisher coming in this genre. All right, Kickstarter exclusive, we have Mordred the Ascended. This is a limited edition. This is free in this campaign. This is what you get if you have played Mordred and you've souped him up into his more powerful version. I am excited to hopefully see versions of all of our characters souped up like this, but this one right here is awesome. You can see the dual tone plastic, and this is a really cool little extra bonus that you have because the graveyard, the crypts, the ghouls that are crossing the board, it is a big moment when you've leveled him up. He is another level of threat, and this will just make sure that everyone at the table can see that it has happened. Let's continue moving on through this. Oh, by the way, reviews like this are why you should be paying attention. Board Game Co., this is a 5 out of 5, an incredible area control game, quickly rising to one of my favorite area control games in my collection. People do not say that lightly, and so, yeah, worth seeing. Why pledge now? Exclusives, save up to $100, be the first to get it, and it won't happen without your support coming from Shadowborn. Oathsworn, by the way, number 9 on BGG Thematic Games, and number 58 out of the top 100. That is a remarkable position for a first board game to be in. There are 65 miniatures, a new faction, more game content, and so many component upgrades. So they've unlocked lots and lots of cards. Here's the brand new faction. We have the Fae faction that's been unlocked. You can see the different types of miniatures, different types of leaders and creatures they have. They function by manipulating and twisting the minds of other players around the board, trying to direct them into areas so combat happens or big battles happen, letting the Fae sweep in and, well, keep the land as free from enemies as possible, making the enemies slaughter each other. Very, very cool. Very, very fancy. We have upgraded components, so we have this card holder tray, which is going to be very, very helpful because you have cards as a core feature of the game. Can hold sleeve cards, I believe. We have our upgraded... Look at these! Look at these beautiful little cubes. They're just cubes. They could have just sent cubes. Everyone would have been happy with cubes. They are really, really going par none. These are the fanciest cubes I think I've seen in a board game, along with these markers. These markers are the victory point trackers and your little influence trackers that go onto the board. We have the grail itself, the sword itself. We have relic markers, these markers that go out onto the board depending on what character you're playing. Strength token markers, which will be metal coins if you end up getting that version of the game. Lots and lots of card upgrades. These are the settlement markers that we have, so every character now has its own version of a settlement that goes out onto the board. Again, people would have been fine with these just being cardboard pieces. No one was complaining, and yet they've said that they've listened to you and made them as sexy as possible. You have alternative sculpts for the heroes of each faction, for the minions of each faction, across all of the factions, which is awesome. It means that the game is going to look more and more beautiful and more dynamic than it already does, and it already looks awesome. Tim Choon says, Avalon, the Riven Veil, is an absolute hit for me. This game really meets and exceeds the standards of Oathsworn, and that is so fulfilling. MVM says, if you like Blood Rage, I gotta tell you, this is one you're going to want to take note of for sure. You have Michael from King of Average, had a blast, beautiful game, well produced, well made, streamlined, gorgeous, and fun. And Steve from Polyhedron Corridor, I absolutely love this. It ticked all the boxes. Continuing to go down, the pledge level that everyone should be paying attention to. Collectors all in, get everything. I mean, why not? That's what we all do, right? Anyway, you get everything included. This is going to include, I believe, the Iron Forged upgrade pack, which is like a $25 value for the metal stuff. Mistwalker's expansion, Black Dragon, which is the exclusive little model character monster that you could get from this Kickstarter specifically. You get boards in hollow foil and gold stamped, triple layer or 4 triple layer faction boards, custom faction trays. It's just ridiculous. We have the king, we have the undead, we have the druids, we have the Fomorians, and we have the Fae, which is the 5th faction that you can play. It's going to break down all the phases here, which we don't need to go through because we've already talked about that so much. We have our creatures and the monsters, which, by the way, are just, like, the models, the miniatures, are just lovely. They're just quite lovely. Continue going down, continue going down. They've unlocked more and more of them, by the way. Tons and tons of miniatures, tons and tons of models. Here's everything that's coming in the game. And where do we get to the extras, the add-ons? Deluxe rulebook / art book, so a beautiful 50-page gold foil rulebook. Mistwalker expansion is going to give you 5 new models and the ability to have characters that go through the mist and give you bonus objectives and bonus scoring opportunities, along with a little peek at what might be there if you decide to send your troops in that direction. Iron Forge Pledge is like $35 for freaking real Tainted Grail and then all of the other things that are just deluxified. We have our personal markers, we have the cubes, we have the sword, we have the coins for strength. Really, really beautiful. We have the Venerex the Black Dragon, a Shadowborn exclusive here on the Kickstarter page. We have the sleeves, if you want to get sleeves for your game. The Mist-Touched Miniatures, which is going to let you get them all shaded. I don't know why Kickstarter zooms so weird. That's an app problem, not my problem. So if you want to get yours shaded and highlighted, which of course you do, that's a really, really aggressive deal on that. Play your way, choose between asymmetric or symmetric factions, play without catch-up mechanics, choose the version of the game with standees, miniatures, or pre-shaded miniatures, and then it's going to go through all of the unlocks, all of the different powerful upgrades, the social stretch goals, this beautiful artwork that they have, and then the wonderful team that has created it. The big stuff for me is the fact that they've just incorporated piles and piles of new stuff into this campaign. So if you went there on day 1 or day 2 and you were looking and you were like, it doesn't play 5 players, not for me. Well, now it does. Now it's 2 to 5, right? If you're going and you're like, well, the miniatures are cool, but I'd really like to see more, piles of more miniatures along with customized little faction miniatures that just make it that much nicer. If you're going and you're like, it's nice, but I'll just wait for it to come to retail, there's lots of stuff here that won't be at retail by the time it's arriving, and it's stuff that you're going to want to have. Metal upgrades, shading on your miniatures for a game that you love. I mean, and because they're already two-toned or single-toned plastic, that's not going to be something you're going to be doing most of the time yourself. So you're really not going to be painting most of these miniatures that already have this beautiful color to it, because color is important for the experience of the game. So a little bit of texture, a little bit of shading, all for, I think, $29 is a steal. And Shadowborn Games has a reputation to uphold. They put out good products. They're going to continue putting out good products. It's their plan for the future of their company, right? Make great things and make those great things as nice as possible, and then deliver them as close to on time as possible, and then continue doing that. Just, rinse, repeat, reiterate, and continue making great things that people love having in their collection and on their shelves. So there you have it. That's a quick, final day breakdown of what they have unlocked here, what exists in this campaign if you just gave it a cursory look right at the beginning. And let me know. Has this swayed you? Are you upping your pledge? Are you hopping $5 in so you can get into the pledge manager so you can decide if you want to back it in a month or 2? What are you doing? How are you approaching this? Because I know for me, I'm gonna beg the wife to let me buy it. She apparently says that because we have a debt and a brand new son, a baby, we're not allowed to buy board games. I think that's hogwash. I think it's a good investment. We should buy 10. Really, that's my argument. We didn't hop all in on Kingdom Death back when it was Resins, so I think there's a strong case to be made. Honey, Shira, if you're watching this, I'd like to just purchase 10. 1 for me, 9 for the community, eBay community, in like 2 years. It's going to pay for college. I'm pretty sure. If colleges exist, it's a new America. We don't know what exists. But if colleges do exist, then, we're gonna have to invest deeply into Avalon, the Riven Vale, because everyone's gonna want those wash miniatures, that exclusive dragon, and that beautiful, beautiful metal upgrade kit. Just saying. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Let me know. Was this quick? Was this long? What am I doing? I just talk. I just talk and talk and talk, and then I realized too much time's happened, and everyone that was sitting around the tables left, and they all wonder why I was staring at a camera and talking to it instead of looking at them. There were 12 people around this table originally when I first started the video. They walked out. They walked out. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.